where you were talking about how in the preseason, talked about team being ready to compete for Big Ten championships, and you said that that's not the case now. Is that purely about the results that have happened the past 2 weeks, or is there something deeper about this team that maybe has changed from what you thought in the preseason?
No, it's about the results. We're a result oriented business, and with three losses, you kind of eliminate yourself. So to me, it's a matter of we aren't ready, obviously, to compete for championships this year because we hadn't played to the level that we need to be in the running, and it's where we are today.
With that readiness, is there something that changed from the preseason to now, or is there something you wish you did differently? Anything like that?
No, I mean, it's just we haven't played to our potential. We haven't played to our standard the past few weeks. I don't make excuses. We will continue to coach our guys. The effort's there with our players. We've lost 2 games by one score. And a year ago, we won 2 of those games. If you think back to the Northwestern and Indiana run a year ago, we were behind in the Indiana game. Billy brought us back. We won the Northwestern game in a hard-fought battle here. This year, we didn't get those. We didn't take care of those types of games, but they were very winnable, and there were things that we can control, and we didn't do it. So, again, we will continue to strive for. We have an opportunity this week against a ranked team here at home, and it gives us an opportunity to try to go take care of business, get back on the right track.
Go to Brandon.
Hey, Coach.
What's up?
Your pass defense the last month kind of took a step back. What specifically an area, maybe it's execution, maybe it's communication, just what specifically did you feel they really kind of struggled in over the past month?
Well, I think the biggest thing is we've talked about the eye discipline. I mean, a lot of the plays that have been made, we've had some contested catches where, when people throw the ball up there, we've got to be able to go make a play. But then we've also given up some chunk plays with, bad eyes where guys are maybe not in the position they need to be in, not having their eyes where they need to be in position to get us in position to make plays in the passing game. But to me, these are all correctable things that we will continue to work on, and having Tarheeb back should help us. Came back a week ago after missing a few weeks, and a guy with this experience, definitely like to have him out there.
Yeah, you mentioned getting Tarheeb back. How much, in your eyes, is it that there have been injuries in the secondary? How much does that kind of play a factor? Is it no, not all?
No, I mean, to me, the experience of losing a guy like Tarheeb in one game, we lost Dante Trader in another game as well. But we've got some very qualified and capable backups that have to be able to come in and play to the standard. I don't. When you play with bad eye discipline, I don't think that factors in a guy not being out there. That factors in a guy not doing his job or playing to the standard that we have set on the back end.
Thank you.
We'll go to Taylor.
Hey, Coach.
Taylor, what's up?
Going off the defense part, specifically with turnovers, I think the first 5 weeks of the season, you guys had 12 or 13 turnovers. The last few weeks, I think it's just one. How much of that is just luck, tips and bounces not falling your way? Or is there a more tangible thing you can point to and say, we're not doing this anymore, or we stopped doing this way?
Well, it's a little bit of luck, and it's a little bit of execution. We had opportunities with two opportunities in the game against the Northwestern. Corey Coley in the end zone had an interception opportunity that he didn't take advantage of, and then we punched the ball out. Tarheeb punched the ball out down when they were going in to score, where the ball ended up on the ground, and we just, again, didn't pursue to the football. I always say good things happen when you run to the ball, and the two things that jumped out defensively from our last game was that we had the most missed tackles that we've had all year long, and then the second one was we had the most loafs, which is not running to the football, and that's something we hadn't done all year long on defense, and we'll get that part corrected here and go out this week and try to execute a little better.
And then Bo Braid, going off the turnovers, Bo Braid told us Tuesday that kind of starts in practice, that the defense hasn't been forcing as many turnovers during the team stuff in practice. Have you noticed, any kind of change in what your defense has been doing during practice? And if so, are there any adjustments or changes you've tried to install?
No, we do tackle circuit and turnover circuit every day, Tuesdays and Wednesdays every day. We put a big emphasis on protecting the ball on our side, and then defensively trying to get the ball out. So, turnovers kind of are contagious. When we had them going earlier in the year, we were getting them in bunches, whether it be fumble recoveries or interceptions, fourth down stops or turnovers as well in our book. But no, it's not anything in practice. You achieve what you emphasize. We have emphasized or continue to emphasize the importance of trying to create the turnovers. And then on our side of the ball, offensively, taking care of the ball. And, if you look at the last 2 games, we've not got any turnovers and we've lost a couple in both games.
We'll go back to Varun.
Hey, Coach. Wanted to ask about Roman Hemby's workload. He's on pace for, substantially less carries than last season. Is there anything different in the way that you guys are using him this year compared to last year, or is that just a circumstance thing?
That's how we rotate and play our backs, and we design our offense where there's certain things that we like to do with Roman, certain things we like to do with Antoine, and certain things we like to do with a guy like Kobe McDonald. And so, if anything, Kobe's been one of the guys that has had some production with not necessarily a lot of opportunities. And, I think he's earned the opportunity that you'll probably see his load increase. And, Roman dealt with some knee injury stuff earlier that kind of maybe slowed him down, but it's more how we game plan. It's more to utilizing, all the different guys that we have that have the ability to make plays. And, Roman's still certainly one of those guys.
So the difference from last year to this year is more centered around the increased usage for Colby?
Or increased usage for Antoine, or increased usage of empty and more receivers, and the things that we do on offense.
And then on Wednesday, there was a Big Ten coaches call that I think one person described as an airing of grievances regarding the Michigan sign stealing scandal. What do you remember about that call, and what were kind of the things that you'd like to discuss about it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not one of those guys that likes to discuss personal issues like that. I think if you could figure out who the person that, decided to say what that call was in reference to, you may have a better chance talking to him. He seems like maybe the guy that could help you, but it's a personnel matter. It's I got a lot of respect for our commissioner and our conference and the way we do business, and that's just not something I'll get into.
We will go to Ahmed.
Hey, Coach. No, you touched on it earlier, but just the tackling from last week, obviously just going against Penn State this week, obviously just kind of with their offensive line and the running backs. What have you kind of done with the defense to maybe kind of ensure that missed tackles is kind of minimized?
Yeah, I mean, again, we're thudding in practice. We've wore pads on Tuesday, Wednesday to where we got the tackling work we typically do. We did good on good. Again, I'm hoping that the lack of our tackling, didn't come from a fundamental, because all year long we had been a really good tackling team where we were on pace to maybe have one of the better years of not having a bunch of missed tackles. But to me, it goes back to we also had some loafs and not running to the ball. When typically you see us play defense, you see our guys 11 hats to the ball and playing with their hair on fire, and we've got to get back to that part of it. I don't anticipate us having another tackling day like that, because again, we do the things during the week to prepare for it, and it's now just a matter of getting it done in the game.
We'll go to George.
Hey, Mike, how's it going?
George, what's up, buddy?
Not much. Kind of off of what Varun asked about Roman, just in terms of running the football, is it a focus in this month, especially as things grind out in a tough part of the conference schedule, to try to establish the run more and find a balanced attack offensively? Or if you can get there with it in the passing game or in the screen pass game, that's the way you'll go? Would you like to try to focus to try to find more of a balance offensively?
We're always striving for balance, and I say this all the time, and I don't know if maybe I'm not saying it in the way you guys get it, but our goal is to be good at running and throwing, and then we obviously look at our self-scout to see what we're doing efficiently. And one of the things I'm tasked to do and continue to do is make sure that we're giving our guys the best chance to win. And right now in the run game and the passing game, we're still trying to find that ability in terms of being efficient. There are going to be some games if we line up in certain formations and we get light boxes that you'll see more run opportunities and the production that we all want to get used to. But, we don't make a point of emphasis to say, hey, we're going to just line up and run it. We say we want to be able to do both really well and be able to do them when we need to do them. So, I'd love to see us become more efficient just in general than we have been maybe the last couple of games in terms of being able to run and throw the ball efficiently.
We'll go back to Varun.
With the offensive diversity you guys have, is there any thought with how many players you guys play and how many people get the ball? Is there any thought that as like the season goes along that list might shrink as time goes?
No, we continue to game plan and utilize all the weapons we have. Does it change from game to game? For sure, depending on the guy's production, how many opportunities we want to get them. I'm one of those guys that typically going into a game, I have an idea in my mind or on my call sheet, like, hey, we got to try to get this guy going. A week ago, we wanted to try to see what Ramon Brown could offer with him finally being back able to play. And, and he winds up kind of hurting himself there a little bit on in the game last week. And so, it opened up the door and you saw Kobe come in and make some other plays as well. So, no, the plan is just to kind of continue to utilize the personnel we have and find ways to get those guys involved to where they can be successful.
And then the turnover and tackling circuit that you mentioned, what does that look like in practice?
We split up into different groups on the field. Receivers go against the DBs, the tight ends go against the linebackers, the outside backers go against the running backs, and we do every type of tackle known to man: sideline, midline, circle chase. We do stumble bum. We do 2-ball drills. We do stiff arm. It's a bunch of different circuit drills that we rotate through every week. It's the start of practice. It's a 7 to 8 minute period. And it's one of the things I think that helps us, that has helped us thus far. And I think it'll continue to help us as we've improved as a tackling defense.
And the turnovers?
Throughout those drills, obviously the emphasis is on those. The defense tries to take it away. And then on offense in those drills, we coach them up to protect the ball.
Gotcha. Thank you.
2-for-1 drill.
Is everyone good?
All
All
right.
right.